This is what John said in John chapter 12, verse 41 about Isaiah. It says, Isaiah said this thing about Messiah because he saw Jesus' glory hundreds of years before and spoke about him. Man, that's insight. That's spending time with God and kind of fine-tuning it. So when you spend time with God, God gives us songs, He gives us insights, He gives us things from the Word He wants us to hang on to. And for Isaiah, as he thought, God, when are you going to rescue your people? When are you going to stop being bobos? When are you going to stop running away from them? When are you actually going to accomplish the things He promised us? And Isaiah was given insight. He saw the Messiah somewhat in the future. He had this hope that sustained him through 4 different kings. Okay, so let's take a look at the message of Isaiah. Again, an overview. I'm going to give you 4 things that kind of capture Isaiah's message. And it was true then, and it's true today. The first one is God. The first one is that God always wants us completely. He wants all of us. In the first opening chapter, you get that idea that God's saying, you're playing games. You're going to church, you're going to the temple, you're doing all these sacrifices, you're doing fasting and all this stuff, but your heart's not there. And you can't fool me. I'm not satisfied with that. I don't want the blood of goats. I don't want the fat of rams. I want you. And that's what it's about. I want you to return to me and have a relationship. And in so doing, then you become fully who I created you to be. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2 and 3 says, Hear, O heavens, listen, O earth. For the Lord has spoken. I reared children and brought them up, but they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his master, and the donkey his owner's manger, but Israel does not know. My people do not understand. A little later in the same chapter, I have had more than enough of burnt offerings of rams and of the fat of fattened animals. I have no pleasure in the blood of bulls and lambs and goats. Stop bringing me meaningless offerings. So you're never going to get away from it. God had the same requirement and desire from the people He said are my chosen people as He does right now. Which He wants all of us. Not portions, not part, not 75. God started working this. He wants every part of us. So if you're trying to have a relationship with God and kind of hold Him back and say, I'm just going to get something, you're going to always be miserable because He's always going to work the events of our lives to draw us 100%. And then call us on those things that aren't. Just like it happened there. Whenever they strayed and their heart wasn't engaged, He's not fooled. He knows that. What's so loving is He shows it to us and He tries to win our love. If we don't resist, if we don't spurn, if we don't forsake, if we don't reject, you say, yeah, God, that's true. I am running after others. I am leaving the place where you can work in my heart. Change that. And that's the question for them and for us. Does He have our hearts? That's always the question. Does He have our hearts? Without it, all our outside obedience is just trash. It just doesn't mean anything to Him. It doesn't score any points. It doesn't make us any closer. It doesn't even put a swab on our guilt or our conscience. We think it does. It's always after our heart. It's the simplest thing, and it's the hardest thing to keep before God and open. I know that, and you guys know that. So hopefully it's just like we stop playing games. God wants us completely. All of us. Every part of it. Surrender to Him. And walking that relationship that's just sweet and ongoing. If God doesn't have our heart, then everything we do is callous towards everybody else. If God is not the center, then we're the center. Right? If God is not the center of life, then we put ourselves at the center. So that's the second thing we see. That first of all, God holds the people accountable because they don't love Him, and they've got idols and gods and everything else they're pursuing. The next thing He says is that the way you treat each other and the people you forget to care for is a result because you don't love them. And He says you don't take care of the fatherless, you don't take care of the widows, you don't take care of the poor, you don't take care of the orphans. Because you don't love me. They're connected. So the second message is this: forsaking God leads to callousness towards others.